Hi, everyone, and a big warm welcome back. Thanks so much again for listening to our weekly podcasts. I'm your host, Dr. Yeager. Adding a pet to your family can easily be one of the best decisions that you can make in your life. Whether it's a dog, cat, or small mammal, bird, or reptile, pets add a string of constant love, enrichment, and happiness to our lives. If you are considering adding a pet to your life, taking the time to really think about it is crucial. Pets need a lot of attention, and keeping them healthy and fed means they make a big impact on your budget. Basic expenses add up quickly, and additional expenses and emergencies happen. Thousands of animals get surrendered to animal shelters every year, and all too often the reason is because either the owner can't afford the pet's care anymore, or they didn't realize how much time and energy it would take to care for them. When you choose to bring an animal into your life, please only do so when you are ready to make a lifetime commitment to that pet. When you are ready to bring a pet into your family, it'll be one of the best commitments you'll ever make. The cost of keeping smaller animals like rabbits, gerbils, hamsters, and small birds can range in price. Many smaller animals are estimated to cost about anywhere from $200 to $650 a year. These averages do not take into account emergencies or the initial cost of getting them all settled in. Reptiles can greatly vary, as there are so many kinds and sizes. Depending on what kind you choose to take home, you could be looking at anywhere from $400 a year to well over $1,000 a year. Aquatic or semi-aquatic animals such as fish and some turtles can end up being a little cheaper, but the initial costs of getting appropriate sized tanks can be pretty pricey. You must also consider that your pet may grow, and you will have to upgrade the size of the tank. For instance, red-eared slider turtles are often sold at the size of a child's palm, but to many owners' surprise, they actually grow for many years and can end up being over a foot long. Plus, they can easily live to be well into their 20s. Tanks and aquariums also require a decent hunk of time and effort for maintenance and cleaning. Studies done by the University of Pennsylvania School of Veterinary Medicine, along with many other regional and national studies, estimate that being a cat parent will cost you around $1,000 and up a year. Again, that estimate does not include spay or neuter surgeries or the initial costs of getting your cat all settled in. Many tend to think of cats as incredibly low-maintenance pets. Although they tend to be less maintenance than dogs, it by no way means that they don't require a lot of care and attention. They too should be spayed and neutered, have annual veterinary visits, annual vaccines, and preventative care that depends on their lifestyle. As with any pet, as they get into their older years, they may need more care, such as medications, diet changes, dental care, and perhaps more than one checkup a year. The same studies estimate that depending on your size of dog, your annual cost for basic needs can range anywhere from around $1,500 and up to over $3,000. This average includes the basics, such as cost of flea and tick prevention, heartworm prevention, one annual checkup, food, treats, and various items such as poop bags and toys. Here's the thing. Most dogs will have additional costs. Training is essential, especially if you get a puppy. If you work long hours or don't have a break to go home, you may need to hire a dog walker or take your dog to doggy daycare. If Fido has medium or long hair, you will need to take him to the groomer regularly or buy supplies and use your time to upkeep his do yourself. If you travel, you will need to board your pet or find a pet sitter. Some states and counties will require that you purchase a dog license or a rabies tag, and their pricing varies. Be prepared, as many rental houses and apartments have either a significant pet deposit or they may increase your monthly rent. Unfortunately, there are many rental units that simply won't allow pets, especially dogs. The lists of costs can go on and on. Of course, there are many factors that will affect the cost of having a pet, ranging from where you live, where your pet receives care, what kind of food they eat, and of course, what size of pet you'd have. Taking your new pet to the vet within a week and getting them checked out is a definite must. Even if your new pet appears healthy, you got them from a shelter that had a vet on staff, or if you got them from a reputable breeder, having them looked over by a veterinarian is essential. They may need vaccines right away, or it may be time for them to get spayed or neutered. Getting them fixed up and up to date on vaccines will cost you some, but it is far better for their health and, in turn, for your wallet. Furthermore, establishing a relationship with a veterinarian is critical for your pet. Some folks put off veterinary care to save a little money, and many do so thinking that their pet is healthy. The thing is, not taking your pet in for checkups and core preventative care will end up costing you and causing more harm to your pet in the long run. Small medical issues that may or may not be obvious can often be easily remedied by a visit to the vet. Without proper care, those small issues can grow to become more harmful, painful, and a lot more expensive, especially if you end up having to take your pet to the ER. If you are established with a veterinarian, you are far more likely to be able to bring them in on short notice if something of concern pops up, or call them with a question. There are several more things that you can do to help manage costs. One big tip is to really take the time to think about what kind of pet will fit into your schedule and your lifestyle. Before you get a pet, browsing different stores and browsing online to find good prices on essentials can go a long way and also save you some cash. In other words, if you wait till the day of, say, adopting a puppy, to buy all the basics he will need, you may just end up at an expensive pet supply store having to buy whatever is on the shelves. There are lots of websites that will even deliver high-quality food at a good discounted price right to your doorstep, and so many sites where you can buy secondhand or new items like crates, cages, leashes, and so on for a fraction of the cost. Also, consider where you choose to get your pet. If you opt to adopt, you can easily find a shelter or rescue organization that has already altered their pets, and usually they will be up to date on their core vaccines. Adoption pricing is more often than not far cheaper than getting those services done yourself, plus you are saving a life. If you are on the fence about getting a pet, fostering or volunteering at a shelter is a great way to get to know a dog or cat. It's an awesome way to help out your local pets and shelter, and a great way to help you decide if you're actually ready to take the next step. Now, listeners, I gave you a lot of numbers and averages and information. We decided on this topic to help anyone who is thinking about getting a pet to know about the real cost. I'm not the only pet parent who'll say that the cost is absolutely worth it, and I know I would do anything and everything for my 2 little terriers. Once you're ready to bring a pet into the world for the duration of its life, we here at Full Circle Animal Healthcare know that your world will change for the better. Until next week, thanks again. Hello, folks, and just as a friendly reminder, the content of this podcast is strictly for informational purposes only. It does not replace advice or judgment by your primary veterinarian. Please see a licensed veterinarian in your area for all veterinary-related questions and concerns.